Hello, welcome to the Eyre Peninsula in South Australia. Let's have a quick look at what's coming up in this episode. Leaving Ceduna and heading south, the plan is to have a coastal drive and finish up at Whyalla, with our first stop now being at Palubi Beach. We've arrived on the Eyre Peninsula and we've come down to Palubi Beach. We've heard so much about this place. We thought we'll park up here and check it out first. So as we walk down onto the beach, there's just seaweed everywhere. What do you think, Shadow? Bit soft? There's a few caravans camped up here. I think Shadow's coming down with a message. Apparently we need to find somewhere a little nicer than this. Just a little further south is Tumby Bay, and a great place for oysters apparently. Short drive out of Tumby Bay is Whistling Rocks and the Blowholes. Another amazing drive over some beautiful rugged coastline in the Great Australian Bight. There's a great timber boardwalk across the sand dunes which gives easy access down to the Blowholes. Terrific scenery from the viewpoint. This is some of the blowholes that are close to the walkway. However, the oceans were fairly calm today, so the ambient sounds were at the lower end of the spectrum. And after enjoying the views, we headed back to the car. Charinga Beach Campground near Elliston, another low-cost camp with outstanding views. Is this the future for caravanning? Wind turbines and solar panels? Nah, somehow I don't think this is going to take off. What did take off was all the cattle under the wind turbine. They must have thought we had something for lunch because they came heading straight down to the caravan. And I thought any minute now Shadow's going to get them sorted out. Good work, Shadow. Eyre, another small rural location on the coastline. We stopped at this cute little cottage for our morning coffee break. At the southern tip of the Eyre Peninsula lies Coffin Bay, with some pristine beaches and what they claim to be some of the world's best oysters. In prior years, the oyster farms here have produced up to 300 tonnes of oysters. Here you can see one of the boats doing their daily harvest. When completed, the whole boat was actually hauled out of the water on a trailer, pulled by a tractor. It's taken through town and back to the processing sheds. And this is what I was interested in. Yet another feed of beautiful, delicious oysters. And now with my vitamin D levels up to the highest they've been for some time, we moved on to Port Lincoln. Port Lincoln is named the seafood capital of Australia. Situated on Boston Bay, it's one of the largest protected natural harbours in the world, and it's a lot bigger than Sydney Harbour apparently. Port Lincoln is actually home of the largest fishing fleet in the southern hemisphere. Certainly looked impressive from the air when we launched the drone. Matthew Flinders surveyed this area in 1802 and he named it Port Lincoln. Fresh farmed and wild caught high quality southern bluefin tuna, yellow-tailed kingfish, southern rock lobster, green lip and black lip abalone, along with king prawns, are caught and exported all over the world. To manage and limit the catch of southern bluefin tuna, juvenile fish are caught in a net, transferred to a floating pontoon where they are raised until they are big enough to be harvested and sold. In Australia, the bluefin tuna are mainly found in the Great Australian Bight, and they're most commonly caught in the summer months between December and April. Peter Tickle Wines is another beautiful vineyard nestled in the hills around Port Lincoln. They process the wines here on site, and new zone friends we made, Carol and Phil, recommended we stay there for lunch. Beautiful restaurant overlooking the vineyards. Certainly was a fine dining experience. Food, wine and service was just excellent. Every now and again it's really good to treat yourself to a special lunch like this. Another must do if you visit Port Lincoln is the harbour cruise. With an experienced skipper with loads of information, we learned all about the fishing industry down here in Port Lincoln.
They catch tuna by finding them from the crow's nest, but
Now most people fear coming across a great white shark in the water, but down here you can pay over $1,000 and do a 3.5 hour cruise out to the Neptune Islands and swim with the great white.
It's yesterday and that's the cage you're diving. Okay. So you get your wetsuit on, pile in there, when you get to the island, 3.5 hours to the Neptune Islands.
The skipper had a story for nearly every house we passed, and this is Peter Tickle's waterfront property.
Aussie. We used to have a Swedish flag, the flag came down.
Tumby Bay has some vibrant street art. Here's a quick look at some of the captivating murals as we walk around town. Tumby Bay is also another location on the Eyre Peninsula where you can view painted silos. Whyalla, known for its steelwork industry, but also has a nice coastal landscape. The circular jetty is an unmissable feature to Whyalla's impressive foreshore. Overlooking the eastern end of Whyalla, Hummock Hill offers exceptional 360-degree views. Shadow on duty. First gunner's mate. Once again we're looking for overnight accommodation, and this time a short drive out of Whyalla we found Fitzgerald Bay. Beautiful free camp at the water's edge. If you do come out here, don't camp too close to the water. We got here at low tide, and the next morning when the tide came in, some of the campsites were fairly close to the high tide. With the rising cost of fuel, to offset that, we try and free camp as much as possible. Quite often we find some really nice locations, and we often have them all to ourselves. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. We'll be back soon, and that's all, folks.